What's something you're struggling with that you don't tell anybody about? My dad's death. It's not I don't want to be open about it. I just don't know how to talk to anyone about it. I just cry when I'm with my mum. I burst into tears at your comment. My mom died unexpectedly 6+ years ago and am still devastated. But I think the people around me are really tired of hearing about how much I miss her. Social skills and self-doubt. I feel you, man. Self-doubt and its variations. For me, imposter syndrome can be crippling. Keep your head up. You got this. I feel like a ghost in every way. All I do now is eat, sleep and work. A lot of my friends, if any, don't really check on me. It hurts because I will always check on my friends, but nobody ever does the same for me. I'm ignored or simply not heard in a lot of conversations. I'm only summoned by another person if they need something, be it emotional support or hey can you do me a favor, etc. I just feel like a shadow. I just exist at the moment and it just gets sadder and sadder by the day. I have been feeling this way too for a while now, and it definitely just wears away at you. Living the same Groundhog Day, where you do what has to be done in the same setting over and over. The social aspects suck too. The insidious feeling of being used only when people need something from you, or when it's beneficial to them to talk to you. Not feeling like you are a priority in anyone else's eyes. Working for a company who prioritizes themselves first. Friends who do the same. Feeling like all the priority you are worth is keeping yourself fed and getting whatever sleep you can manage. I don't feel like anyone realizes that it has a cost to be the person to always reach out, to always care, to always try to start things up. It absolutely takes a toll, and when it feels like nobody is even listening or paying attention to your attempts, it feels even worse. I'm really sorry that you are feeling similarly, and I hope things get better for all of us. If you want to check in and talk, please feel free to message me, because we do deserve to feel listened to. Thank you. I really needed this, and I certainly will. How I miss having fun, but I have no friends. Maybe you can join an online game that is conducive to making friends, like an online D&D group or something. Imagine trying to figure out the rules of D&D and endear yourself to a group of strangers at the same time. Depression. I just find it hard to talk about, and my therapist is on maternity leave. Don't worry, I'm not suicidal. As someone who struggles with anxiety and depression, I laughed at the last sentence. Not laughing at you. Just laughing at how many times I've had to say that. I always feel nervous about telling people I have depression because of this. I don't want them to feel sorry for me or think I'm going to kill myself. I constantly convince myself that none of my friends actually want me around. Like, they like me, but don't actively want me to hang out with them. Like they are indifferent to my presence. I know it is not true, but I can't get the idea out of my head. ADHD. My brain is not doing what I want it to, and I don't know how to make it. Yup, same boat as you. It stinks cause I could be doing one thing and then bam, the Smurfs theme starts playing on repeat as I get distracted with a pen. Whoa, yeah, that was a very accurate and real description. I tell everyone that I'm content with who I am, including my dwarfism. And for the most part, I really am. But I don't talk about the fact that, now and then, I still have really bad days where I hate my body so much and wish I could just be normal. I think about the cases of people with my condition who killed themselves and understand why they did it. I don't talk about it because, well, what can they say? They don't know what it is like. It just bums people out and achieves nothing else. So I keep it to myself. Hope you don't see this as ignorant on my part. While it's great to have somebody with exactly your problems and understanding it's not a prerequisite for talking about your own issues, one can feel great relief just by talking about it to a friendly person, whoever they are. They may not be able to offer solutions, but a good listener is still worth out as long as they are kind and respectful. Tell them you mostly need them to listen and not to help in other ways. That way you can avoid being told bad advice that might make you feel misunderstood. Just getting it off your chest can be very helpful. Despite the differences between us, we can relate to the core of the suffering of others. They don't know what it's like to be you, but they do know what it's like to feel inadequate. to feel pain, to feel anger, to struggle, to despair, to feel alone. If they get sad, they might also show compassion. Give them and yourself the chance to share this burden. Not sharing makes it even harder to bear. Getting into romantic/sexual relationships. I'm scared of getting hurt. Existential crisis. I'm going through the same thing, but what's helped me is knowing that death exists, and it will come one day. What's important is that I have control over life and not death. Let death come, but I will live my life. I'm an atheist, so IDK if religion plays a part in your life, I would definitely suggest seeking professional help, but at the end of the day, it will always come down to us to accept that reality. I can try and make peace with the temporary life, but I could never have kids. It seems cruel. Realizing that I cannot connect with people anymore thanks to the extreme polarization of our modern day. I don't fully agree with any one side, and it makes me an outcast everywhere. I'm also going through this, and it doesn't help my other issues one bit. I've basically lost all my friends over it. Sounds like that's not much of a loss. Find better ones. There are enough people who do not willingly participate in any polarization game that comes along. Suicidal thoughts. Lack of anything fulfilling. Various mental issues. It's likely that you could be a force for good in the world. That I mean improving quality of life for yourself and those around you. That might be something fulfilling that you could do if you were able to identify some concrete goals, however small, that would move you in that direction. Wishing you all the best in your journey. Feeling lonely and feeling like my friends aren't really my friends and that I annoy them too much. Alcoholism. I kicked multiple drug addictions a few years ago unassisted. Booze is the final boss here. It's so easy to get and acceptable, especially where I live in the rural USA. Plus, it's one of two types of drugs that can kill you if you try to quit without medical assistance. I drank somewhat for a few years, and then a year ago, I hit some serious life trauma and the boozing kicked into high gear. I still don't drink during the day, drive drunk, etc. But I come home and get blitzed every night. It keeps away the anxiety and the horrible dreams. I wish my nightmares were axe murderers or something. Instead, fear all of my loved ones screaming at me and abandoning me or dying. I hate this. I miss who I used to be. You're not alone, my friend. This past year has kicked it into high gear here too. I'm sorry about the traumas you're facing, but you're not alone. My dad died in suspicious circumstances and his case went cold. However, I have come to realize and believe as an adult that my mother killed him. But I stress a lot about whether I should do anything about this information, because I have struggled with my health and energy a lot in life. And I fear that I do not have the energy etc. that it would take to pursue a court case without having to sacrifice what I have worked so hard for and still continue to work hard for in life. After a traumatic and turbulent childhood and early adulthood years. Yes, I feel like I'm finally getting my life together. And what I finally managed to fight for myself now matters too much to jeopardize it on fighting for justice over past events. On the other hand, I can hardly forget what I know, and the justice issues haunt me a lot. I just want to live a happy normal life, and for me, to not have to constantly fight my past, be defined by my past, or lose out on any more life because of my past. Love. Low self-esteem and loneliness. Noon should have low self-esteem. Noon is worthless. It makes me sad to see it. My dad is very disappointed in my brother, and they don't talk anymore. He has a lot to be disappointed about, but at the same time, my brother is a good person and has good traits. I'm sure you are as well. Maybe it's just potential at the moment. There are things you haven't had a chance to shine at. But even being human gives you some amazing skills and abilities that many animals lack. Just keeping to yourself, living a normal life, and not hurting anyone is better than a lot of people do as well. Sometimes it feels hard to be proud of the small stuff, but I think it warrants some thought. At the start of the school year, on the third day, a girl is passed me a paper with a text, "You're my crush," in a heart-shaped circle. The problem is, 1. I don't remember which one of two girls it was. They were sitting together. 2. I'm not sure whether it's lie or truth. I would choose being in a loving relationship over every successful achievement I have made. That's a wise choice. Unless you are the inventor of Dr. Pepper. Gender dysphoria. I'm dealing with narcissistic parents, depression, and being possibly suicidal. I can't sleep well, to the point that I lie about it. Sometimes I'll work all through the night and lie, saying I slept 3 hours in the studio, work, or I took a long nap yesterday. Fact is, I'm so stressed about the uncertainty of life. I feel like, if I don't use every second I'm awake, I'm fucked. You could try the monkey brain technique. I think it's a Buddhist meditation thing, but essentially the monkey primate remnant of your brain can be distracted to turn off all your thoughts. That distraction is simply hyper-focusing on your breathing. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. But you need to force yourself to really focus on it. Hopefully your brain switches off all the worries, anxieties and any other thoughts that might keep you awake. Funny you mention that. Meditation is part of my treatment for staying clean. This is already what I do to get what little sleep already get. But thank you, as this is very solid advice. Stress causing lack of sleep resulting in lack of memory and interrupted thought process and shortened temper. Funnily enough, the results feed back into the cause and don't make it better. I was almost murdered by my own parent and still live with them normally. Sorry to hear. Life will get better once you move out. Plan that carefully and work hard to become financially independent ASAP. I currently have an ectopic pregnancy. Had to take medication to stop it growing, or it could kill me. Can't try again for 3 months at least. Only hubby and one friend know. Hating 80-90% of looking after my kids. It's such a chore, yet one I chose to inflict on myself. An incredibly amount of abuse in my childhood. 50-pound weight gain in the last 4 to 5 months. You might want to go to the doc and check it out, just to make sure everything is okay. Rapid weight gain can be a sign of something worse. Thanks. Yeah, I've had a diagnosis and medication change related to mental health. But yeah, the whole thing sucks and I'm so embarrassed. I stay in hiding. Not as serious as others, but talking about being gay. I only came out to my mates a few months ago, but for the next few weeks I'm back at my parents', where I basically pretend that my romantic life doesn't exist. I like my family for the most part, but that bothers me a bit. Sloth. Never really knowing if people actually like me or if they're just talking me up in front of me, but talking shit behind my back. Lack of empathy. Not caring about anyone except my dog and my cat. I have never been opened. I like to keep it that way because I don't want anyone caring about me and about my life. Not even my family. I haven't showed emotion for years now. It feels great. I have realized nothing matters in the world anymore. I do have a bright future at least. I got bored, so I started studying. Now I started to sound like an emo, but really I'm not one. Slowly losing contact to my childhood friend, who lives really close to me. Being behind regarding career. I'm 29. Have a master's in statistics, but other than a few internships and very short fixed-term contract jobs, I've never managed to actually get into the career. I've been doing an underpaid dead-ended support job for 2 years now. On a positive note, I still do some online learning and still trying to get into my dream job. However, it's not easy during COVID and with other circumstances. I'm afraid that it's only going to be harder as I'm not even in the right career ATM. I have absolutely no idea where my life is going. I feel like everything is up in the air. I like to try to live by the be here now mantra, but boy, the ambiguity of my situation can be anxiety inducing at times. I'm also struggling to talk to people around me about my emotions. For the last few months everything has been described to everyone as I'm fine. It's fine. Everything is fine. Regardless of whether or not it's something I'm churning over internally or not. Being a people pleaser. It's hard always trying to make everyone happy with jokes and agreeing with everyone. I think all you jokesters out there can agree that most of us are going through some really dark shit. We are just really bad at putting our well-being first. Being homesick and burned out from college has left me empty inside and am genuinely scared. I'm leaning towards suicide more seriously than I ever did before. I just miss my home. You're not alone with this one. I'm in a similar situation, and so are some others I've met. Feel free to DM me if you want to talk. Will do, man. Thank you for real. Sometimes it feels silly cause no one ever talks about that stuff, you know. My father being my enabler to my abusers, and I can't take it anymore. My life's been ruined by these people. I no longer smile or laugh and just dread every single moment that has to come. I will try to build a life for myself, but I know that my abusers will try to sabotage that at every step. My back and wrist are pretty much fucked. I actually am a doctor, so I know I should have fusion surgery for the back. And the wrist is a bad loss. You can't cure arthritis, but I can work around all of this. And I think my cats are the only ones who know. I curse freely around them. Once I get up and moving, I'm okay. But getting there is not always fun. Sorry, man. Don't have any advice or anything, but I just wanted to say I feel you. I don't have arthritis, but my wrists are killing me, which sucks being a dentist. Just can't figure out what's wrong. I hope everything gets better for you, with or without the surgery. I'm sure your cats don't mind the cursing. I'm homeless and live in a hotel. Just came back to share, but imagine all the people who saw this post, clicked, read, wanted to share, but they are struggling to tell anybody, so they just politely discarded the post. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe for more videos.